Gross. Hello and welcome. I'm
Marie.
Marie.
And I'm Malcom.
But this is still EboNics podcast.
I'm Nico. And I'm hungry. This is good, matter of fact. I don't know why they did box. I'm Nico.
Because I don't live
and I'm
with the
hungry.
chef.
This is good, matter of fact. I don't know why they did box.
Who are you really?
Ebony. I don't live with the chef.
And I'm Nico. And this is EboNics podcast where we talk about life.
Ebony.
Where we're building the language around life, love, and legacy. Where we talk about life. Today, where we're building the language around life, love, and legacy. We're going over Malcom and Marie. As Ebony bashes the macaroni and cheese that was made for Malcom.
Whatever.
Yeah, man. We just thought this would be dope to kind of talk through the craziness of that
Movie.
I'm about to say call it an evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about their relationships and their relationship and see how we see ourselves and don't and warnings and whatever. We just want to chop it up and talk all things Malcom and Marie.
But first, what's new?
Man, I've been busy. Got past Valentine's Day and I realized I was like, I have to plan my content ahead when I have my busy seasons, because I literally was like, oh snap, what am I going to post? And I guess also having a calendar would really have made me consider that. But
you can also schedule them in advance.
Yeah, but it's still like I have to be intentional about capturing content to post ahead. When I don't have my events, and a photographer to come out and capture really good shots, I'm kind of stuck until I be intentional about shooting stuff here at home, which, I'm getting better at growing and people are liking it. So it's just, creating time and space for that in my calendar. So learned a lot. It's been great. I've been super busy with dinner parties, so that's been super dope. Life as an entrepreneur has not been scary in the sense of I don't know where my next gig is going to come from, the next piece of money, but God's been faithful with that, and I'm pretty sure we might have a situation, but I pray it's no time soon.
What does that mean?
Just like you always kind of hit a little lows and
okay.
Whatever. I just want to prepare ourselves for that, and so far we've been good.
I just literally didn't know what situation meant.
Oh yeah. So what about you? What's new with you besides the do?
I literally was thinking about this in the room while I typed my notes, and I didn't come up with anything. My blog launches next week, which I didn't realize.
Wow. Yes.
Until someone else told me.
You
and
ready?
I was like, yikes. But see you on the blog.
Yeah. I'm excited.
That's new.
I'm super excited. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I'm excited for people to see your work, what goes on in your head, and how creative you are.
I wrote a post this morning. That's new.
And that was a dope post. I can't wait for people to see, so I'm here for it.
What is that? It smells like root beer.
Mm-hmm. Root beer moonshine. Trying it out. Fran gave it to me. It was not bad.
Okay, Malcom and Marie.
All right, so my notes look like my notes in high school. And
What does that
Ebony's look
mean?
like hers from high school.
I'm an organizer by default.
Mm-hmm. And I'm withholding judgment.
Good.
Let's see
Are
how
you?
prepared I am. I am, because I'm like, okay.
Okay, so for those who have not seen the movie,
Ooh, this gonna be a spoiler.
super spoiler.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're supposed to tell people that.
Spoiler alert.
So if you don't want to know things, don't watch this.
Yeah. Go watch the movie, then come back and watch this, please. And like and comment, subscribe.
Ding. So it starts with Malcom and Marie. They are a non-married long-term couple. I think they've been together 3 years. They are coming home from Malcolm's movie premiere at 1 a.m. Malcolm is on cloud 9,
Mm-hmm.
and Marie is irritated.
And it's visible, at least for us.
Yes. It is for him too. He said it. And we'll eventually realize that it's because he didn't thank her in his speech. And what is your, like, overall, you compared it to a boxing match, the whole movie?
It was like, we have Marie in one corner.
No. What is it? It is corner.
Oh, yeah. We got Marie in the right corner with the red trousers on, weighing at 98 pounds.
Whatever she is, she's slim. She looked really good, though.
Amazing.
And mature. I'm proud of her. That was super dope.
You still have her in Disney in your brain?
I wasn't hip to her in Disney, but I'm just familiar with her being a child actor. Yeah. So seeing her in this was just like, oh, well, I guess this is where you are. So
I think she's 23 in real life.
But, I've seen one episode of Euphoria, and it kind of gave me okay.
It would have helped build the bridge.
Yeah. So if you've seen her in other things where she's more mature, this probably would have been an easier journey for you. But if you haven't seen any of her adult work, then this was just like a whoa, kid, like lock him up.
Oh gosh.
But originally it took like a good 7 minutes before I was like, okay, she's an adult, and
Was that the first watch
it.
through or both?
No, just the first watch. It was when they got to the macaroni scene. I was like, okay, she doing this, because I actually saw a couple.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just like some guy and Zendaya. I saw a couple. I was like, okay, I'm bought in. I'm here for it. The banter. Let me go back.
In the right corner, we have Marie weighing at a soaking wet 99 pounds.
And when I say round one,
She was giving it to Malcolm in the black trousers, and he was not ready, ladies and gentlemen. He came in
on like cloud 9, and she knocked that boy down to earth quick, which was kind of messed up.
She actually said, I don't want
you
to fight right now.
She did.
Let's just eat and go to bed.
But let me give my overall.
And he didn't let it go. He ruined his own evening.
It was a verbal boxing match. I really enjoyed the banter. Whoever did the writing in this mug was just like, they was in a personal bag. They probably got some stuff from home. It was like...
It was the same guy that she did Euphoria with.
Really? Mm-hmm. Man, he's a dark cat.
His name is Sam something. But whatever.
It was well done. Really well done. I really appreciate the banter, the blows. It was like, ooh, no, she didn't. It was like, ooh, he went there.
It was straight jabs. There was passive aggressive jabs.
There was some knockouts. There was some get back up and knock out again. It was tough.
It was brutal to listen to. Took a lot of deep breaths.
And I didn't see trailers for this.
I
saw maybe a flyer or a picture on social media, but I didn't know what it was about outside of them possibly being together.
Somebody sent me the trailer, and I think I saw 10 seconds, and I was like, I'm just going to watch it. I was bought in. How'd you feel about the black and white?
I loved it.
Why?
I felt like it really captured the mood. It actually got me thinking like, I Dream of Jeannie, I Love Lucy. Kind of gave me that like back and forth feel to when, them shows back in the day, it was really dialogue heavy. And it took like either some really dope lines or something comedic, like something to really keep your attention. That's what it really it put me in that husband and wife or man and woman couple together, just life. And it really helped. I feel like it wasn't distracting because the house was nice. The house was super nice, but I feel like that really helped kind of bring everything down so it wasn't pulling attention from nothing but them the entire time.
Only 2 visible characters. There's other characters, but we never see them.
Right.
And it was only shot in one house, but they used the hell out of that house.
It was amazing. The shots. Some of the shots. So one of my favorite shots were the angle when she was cooking the macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, it was a lot of movement.
It was like looking at him, and it had the smoke coming off the pot, but it was just like right off our shoulder. It was just a dope angle. Second one is when when she served him, like gave him the business verbally.
Which time?
The first time.
Mm-hmm.
And she peeked around the corner. It was just like, and then that's when he went into the mac and cheese. And then the second one after that, I'll probably say just because it was really funny, almost that same shot, but them coming up, and she was yelling at him that time, and she was like, jerk your thing or whatever. It was just like, she killed that. She was really in her character, really in her petty mode. And then the last one was when she was laying down and he was outside venting, reading a review and going back and forth. It was just really dope because you saw her chill and you see this dude just a loose cannon just like going off, but it's still great shot. Got the house. She's comfortable. He's not. She's calm. He's not. She's laying down. He's back. Like, it was just, the contrast was just really, really dope. They did a great job.
My favorites are at the end of the movie when she's just right in the middle of their bed and the camera comes straight in on her. When she's talking to him and her reflection is in the mirror, but he's in the camera and she's going off on him before she disappears. It's another mirror one.
Is that when they was brushing their teeth?
No, that's what I'm about to say.
Okay.
When they land down and you see like her face reflected in the mirror, but you see her actual body and you see him brushing his teeth. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And the tub.
Yes, the tub.
And the other one is the second or third time she's smoking a cigarette in her bedroom, but you see him in the living room. They both outside on completely opposite ends of the house.
And that's where
they captured both of them.
That's when she ended up leaving.
She in the rug by then.
Yeah, okay. Definitely.
Those are my favorites.
Man, the one when she was in the tub, and I think it was everything about the scene, even the dialogue, but when he came down and he was talking to her, it was like this.
When he left and came back.
Yeah, the second time he was just like leaning down, talking to her like this. It was just a great shot, great feel capture of me. Like, he wasn't moving.
It all felt real. It
felt really vulnerable, really raw. And one thing I really appreciate this, I said this to you, but it's so much dialogue that and like movement going on that if you mess up, you gotta do the whole, like, it was certain scenes where you can tell they are not cutting away.
Yeah.
It's just one, like when he's pacing and going
Monologues.
around, that monologue was fire, but it was just also like, if he mess up, you gotta do that whole thing over. So I'm like, mad respect to the camera crew for capturing that, and for him and Zendaya for just really, really killing that. Really, really dope. I was pleased. If that was a play, I would go see that play.
Me too.
But then I don't know, because I judge it hard based on the movie.
I think it would be good. Now, you want to talk about Malcom or Marie first?
Let's say I got it broken down the characters. Let's do it. So
which
Malcom.
one? Malcom.
Matter of fact, hold up.
That was infuriating.
You know that drove me crazy. We both hate hearing other people like chew and like do the most.
And macaroni all wet sounding. That was.
Hold on now.
Oh my God. When I tell you I would have flipped that whole bowl in his face.
So, one thing I
and he kept chopping at it. I was
he
like,
was doing
oh
his
my
most. It was
God.
like, and it was, and talking with his mouth. I was just like, she was gone. Yeah. She probably was gone for that reason. Like, I don't want her eating this. That probably would have made me mad.
Yikes. Lost the sleep there. I knew.
Lost to sleep.
In his first 10 seconds on camera, I would not like him. Literally, they walking in the house, and I was irritated.
Why?
He came in super loud and doing too much and start blasting in music and then yelling over the music at 1 a.m. Dude, go to bed. I was
put yourself
super annoyed.
Totally into that situation. You don't know if she's not out. Clearly, she was up.
She was irritated and hungry.
She wasn't sleepy.
Yes, she was. She said, let's just eat and go to bed. Sound like hungry, sleepy to me.
No, it sound like I don't want to deal with anything tonight. Let's just go.
Anyway.
She was over that day.
I knew. I was like, ugh, this about to be a long.
So I already thought he was drunk.
He was.
So the fact that he came home, poured himself a drink.
And like
and
4
then he
more.
had like at least 2 other drinks.
Like 4.
But.
It was absolutely more than 2.
I said 2 more. So, I mean, after the first one. But still, 3-4 drinks is a lot.
I did write down in my inquiries. I don't know if the alcohol was making him more over the top or if he would have been even worse if he didn't take a drink to relax. That was just a random thought I had that we will never know the answer to. But I was like, God, he is drinking a lot.
Mm. It was him pouring his drink for me, and then also, well, we're not talking about her, but her and her cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they both went to their vices
over and over.
And I don't know if it was in response to their partners, like, I just need a drink or I just need to smoke. I didn't know if that was necessarily it, but I probably have to watch it again to see. So let me say, what's his name?
Who?
The character. I'm sorry,
Malcom?
the actor. Yeah.
John David Washington.
Okay. I can't recall seeing him in another movie, so this will be the only movie I could judge him by.
He was in whatever that new movie is people keep talking about.
It's about the Black Klansman.
I don't know what it's about.
Oh, Tenet. He's in Tenet also. Yeah. I haven't seen either of those movies. So I'm just judging his acting based off of this. I saw his dad a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like...
He definitely tried not to do it, but...
Yeah.
But
I saw his dad in there, which was like...
It's your dad. You're going to pick up his cadences and
which is cool.
mannerisms.
You know, it wasn't like he got the weak
Some
parts
of
of
it's
him.
probably genetic.
He got the dope parts. So like everything that I saw was just like, oh, that was cool. I didn't like the macaroni and cheese scene. I just felt like it was a little too much. It made him seem like, dude, if it almost took it a little too far. Like
he went too far over and over.
But it's like, that's how you eat. That was totally obnoxious. It was like over the top, way too much. It was.
Malcolm is obnoxious. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not feeling Malcolm.
Oh, I know you weren't really feeling Malcolm. But I was just like, that was just way too much. I don't even know if I know anybody that eats like that. That's not a kid. So, yeah, that was disturbing. I think he's a hothead. He's narcissistic. He's stubborn. He's an asshole. I'll give you that. He seems to know a lot, though. He's very, like, he knows the industry, so I give him that.
Yes.
But
he's very educated, but also tries to downplay his education over and over.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
And she caught him on that. I love that. I said that because you kept saying how toxic they are together. They absolutely need to break up. Yes, but I was just like, especially at the end, I was like, he needs her.
He needs someone like her.
He needs someone like her. Okay, I give you that. But anybody stronger than her, like, that wasn't as graceful, like gracious, like. That's why I feel like they work together, because she's like, I know who he is. Like, boom. He may say this. I'm gonna give him his space. I'm gonna bring him down and correct him, and then we'll move forward. Anybody else probably wouldn't be willing to stick through that.
If
that was
they don't get therapy to stop talking to each other, how they talk to each other, they need to break up.
They definitely need
There's
tools
no
on how to communicate, for sure.
Yeah, I think they need to start fresh with some personality doppelgangers.
Overall, I liked Malcolm.
I don't.
I think he need work. He need help. I don't like how he kept yelling her name throughout the movie. I'm like, dude, shut up.
He do it all day. He's needy, she said.
Yeah, that's true. She called him. She called him on it. What else you want to say?
I have lots of things. I think he gaslit her the whole movie and was super manipulative. I think it was super lame how he tried to apologize for the song.
Oh, why would you say gaslit her? Is it gaslit?
Because he tried to make her think she was crazy. Like, everything she said was like, he literally called her crazy like 7 times.
But, so I give you that. And
tried to say that movie wasn't about her. You're insane.
Yeah, you could tell he was just being prideful and stuff, but so like the whole thing. But when he went in, it was just like the whole thing wasn't. So it was like,
I got notes about that too.
I appreciated him and his straightforwardness. Like I appreciated that.
He went straight forward. At first he was like, it's about a lot of people. True. And then he let it go.
True.
Then he started losing the fight.
True.
And was like, hey, I banged Kiki.
That was a hell of a paraphrase, but sure.
And I kept her picture.
But
I burned that whole closet.
She
down.
wasn't either.
She wasn't with it.
When they finally got into the conversation, after she did say, I don't want to do this tonight, he kept pushing, which was stupid on his part because she told him already, hey, this won't go well. And then so she was extremely like gracious, responsible. I thought that was super dope. Then she was like, okay, you said you want to go there, let's do it. And dug in, even her. Certain things that she said was just like, I get voicing your hurt and stuff like that, but you can't accept to fix this by jabbing at him also. So it was a way that she could have went about it. So because of that, his pride was hurt. Like, of course, he ate this macaroni and cheese and was acting stupid. And then it was crazy because each one of them had moments to where they could have sat with themselves and corrected it and said, I'm sorry or whatever. But instead, they both came guns blazing each time, Mm-hmm. And it was just like they came to put each other down. Like, the way they fight is to win. And I'm like, that's not healthy. So
I don't think that's how it started, though. I think he switched the tone of the argument to, I'm finna win this.
I think both.
I don't think it started as, I'm about to destroy you. All she said was, you should have said thank you. And then he lost his mind.
That's not all she said.
At the very beginning
she said, you are incapable of doing this. You're incapable. Like, she was basically telling him what he's not able. And I'm like, it's like if I say, because you don't do something often or whatever, me telling you what you're not going to do or what you're incapable of, that's down-putting. That's a jab. That's an unnecessary jab. You don't even need to mention that. You can say, I don't think that this is going to go. You can say, based off of whatever. You can set terms like, hey, are you going to agree to this? But if you tell me going in that I'm incapable of X, Y, and Z, that's a jab.
Okay.
You disagree?
I disagree. That's how the argument turned horrific.
No. So horrific. Because he had a worse jab?
I'm talking about the whole night.
Okay. So it went horrific when what? He retaliated?
No, I'm saying the whole rest of the night was a disaster on both sides.
I just didn't know if you was putting the blame on Malcolm.
I'm putting the turn of the tide on Malcolm.
Where?
We'll just got to go back and I'll point it out to you. When he threw her suicide attempt in her face, That was absolutely out of order. And right after that, he called her stupid.
But the way, again, horrible, okay, that's foul. But the way the writers worked it in, because the way he said it was like, you can do this. I'm like, dang, you to kill herself? Like, it was like
a dare.
I dare you, or just do this type thing.
Like this will solve your problems.
Right.
That's what you thought
so
in the
fact
past.
That
so try it again.
The fact that she brought it back and was saying like, you used it like, and I was like, oh, so that happened and he threw it out the fire. It was like, ooh, it was like, dog, this ain't cool.
She said it was embarrassing and cruel, and you threw it in my face, and it makes me regret sharing things with you. And the next thing he came back and said to her was, you really think I'm mediocre? I was like, what is going on? What the hell is going on?
What?
That's how this fight ended, with her saying, I regret sharing things with you because you threw it back in my face. Then she went and got in the tub. Then he came banging on the glass and was like, hey, you really think I'm mediocre? I was like, dude. And in the tub, she said, that's what you took away from what we just talked about.
You're saying because he went so low as to throwing that and then came back with the,
I'm hurt. Even when she would offer vulnerability, he rejected that and was like, but what you said about me though, instead of saying, hey, that hurt my feelings too. It's just pride.
It was pride throughout the whole thing. So she called him mediocre and bashed him during that same, you said this.
Because he stole her story and then acted like he made it all up.
I mean, but even through the whole suicide, like all that stuff in her face, she said that, but she attacked him, like getting back at him even more. So you think that at that point, Malcom was just going to say sorry? Or he should, like, he actually said, I didn't mean that. And she was like, it was too late, whatever. It was cruel. Like, he even, like, I don't want to say he apologized.
He did not.
Yeah, because that's not the thing. But he at least admitted he was wrong for it. So, again, brought him down. And one thing that I really appreciate is they both sat back and, like, took everything that their partner had to say.
Most of the time.
And then
I did notice that.
They sat with it. And then
it's like the parts where he knew she was telling the truth, he like turned into a little boy and was like, didn't even want to look her in her face.
Yeah. Each time.
But then it'd be like, but forget all that.
Yeah, what's up? So, I mean, I get it. Like, he hit her where it hurt super bad. She came back and retaliated. And you're saying the fact that he came back with the, you really think I'm mediocre?
That just blew my mind.
I was just like, he gonna come back and say, dang, you really didn't like it just because this is what his whole night is about. This is where he is right now. So I can imagine that's exactly where his head will be. I wasn't surprised by that.
I was like, well, what the hell?
I didn't expect nothing different.
Well,
because he had already he already showed me like who he was. I was just like, oh wow, so this is what he on. I just feel like how the writers went about exposing certain things or sharing things with us. It happened in a way to where he just said that about the suicide piece, like, you know, boom. And then when she brought it back up, it was just like, it was just really well done, like how they pieced everything. And then when he went to her, she was in the tub and was like, I can snap you like a twig. Started to lay in on her. I'm like, shouldn't have threatened her. I'll snap you like a twig, even if he's talking about verbally or whatever. Yeah. That was not a cool thing to say. Knowing somebody has trashy exes and rough past or whatever. That was just really toxic. And then going into the details the way he did. all the stuff I like. Actually, like, okay, it wasn't all about you. It was this, it was this, it was this person, this person. But the way he did it, way too much.
But right before that, he said, "You want to hurt me by calling me mediocre. I can hurt you 10 times worse." Proceeds to do so.
Right. That was trash.
That was premeditated.
Yeah.
He was outside like, I'm finna get her.
I think she had said some things. It was just like, okay, if they're not completely true, because he didn't come back just because of the mediocre. He was out there like, she trying to blame me for this and this, and then he was like, you can make up some of the stuff he was tripping off of, but then when everything kind of in his head came back to the mediocre, and then he started to lay in on like, hold up, though, like I'm not holding you back or anything, like this is.
One super random thing I noticed when he was outside processing, I don't know if it was this time or when he was ranting about the critics, but that boy was so frustrated he started fencing the air. That
showed the privilege.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
I was like...
Usually people go outside and box the air.
Kick something, go throw something. He said...
On guard.
I was like, oh...
Boy, you ain't been through nothing.
And she laid into him though. I was like, whoosh. But real quick, he left the bathroom after laying into her the first time. Came back, and that's when he came down. I feel like I don't know what made him come in and come down. Excuse me. But that's the stuff that I wish he had said first.
I didn't even like what he said.
To her?
Yes.
Really? I thought it was in a heated moment, even with all the stuff. Like, if you want to talk about it, if you want to be real and raw, great. I think what he said was much better than what he said the first time. It was
better. He said the part of the movie that was about you is what made it so tragic at the end. And it was because the girl was so full of shame and whatever. And he was like, you can't even accept love, that like you can't let love in. And I was like, Negro, if you think you're an example of something somebody should open themselves all the way up to, you have lost your mind. Are you kidding? You've called me stupid. You called me crazy. You told me I've like debased myself. You told me you don't need me in this very same scene, but then told me I should be opening myself up to let your love in. I was like, get off my back.
I think I appreciated the love. I don't need you thing, because I didn't take it as
he tried to soften, but that was a trashy speech.
No, I see. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. I don't agree with everything he said.
That wouldn't.
You know me when it comes to like truth, like, and knowing how to separate harsh truth from loving truth and all that. So that's a journey. So I'm recognizing that this certain couple, and particularly Malcolm, a lot of his stuff I'll be having to sit with like, well, like...
I think he went in the hall and tried to soften and came back with some BS.
But a lot of that part was true. He also revealed and shared with us that she cheated on him. And throughout everything, he was still there. So it was just like, for you to come at me the way you was coming at me and attacking me and putting me down, I have been through so much with you. Not having sex in 6 months. And
I have that written down too, because she called him on that. Was you with me because it was selfless, or because you don't have a story and you wanted a first-hand insight to mine so you could make a movie about it and then not thank me for it?
I mean, I don't... So, of course, that's something that we won't know. I don't think that he was with her because he saw the potential of a movie. I thought he
had a script before they met. He was like, she could beat this up.
Well, I mean, he for sure used her story. Like, regardless, I don't think that was premeditated. And I wouldn't want to put that on her, because I don't feel like she would have stayed if she knew it was, or felt like it was premeditated. Even though she said those things, she was really exposing him like, dog, like, my life beefed this story up. I know you had these things going on, but you used me and you didn't thank me for it. To say, like, this is all you're here for.
Do you think he really forgot to thank her?
No.
You think you did it on purpose?
think it was something that he probably needed to work through. Like, she exposed him at the end as far as like, I do all this X,
She
Y,
said
Z.
the whole movie, he was like squeezing her hand, checking on her. So he ain't forget she was there.
Yeah,
But then when the movie went off, you thanked 800 people and just happened to forget the person you came to this function with. That don't make no sense.
You said, what was your question, the first one?
Do you think you forgot? Or do you think you did it on purpose? And you said no to both. And I was like, what?
Well, because... okay, so yes, I think he forgot.
Mind blowing.
But...
your thanklessness is that habitual that you just... it didn't even feel weird. Because you never thanked me.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Because, like I said, he has... like, he's a narcissist. And old girl, she even said Taylor wouldn't allowed you to do that because of Taylor's personality. I'm not, again.
Taylor is the actress who played Marie in the movie.
And they're more right.
I'm just telling the people.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying if Marie was a different woman, if she was a Taylor, I don't think that...
he asked that. He was like, so you telling me that you ain't crazy enough for me to remember to thank you?
So you think he just on purpose?
I don't know what happened. I literally don't understand him.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, I'm not so quick to saying he did it on purpose.
He about the BS. That's what I know. I don't know what happened with the thank you.
She talking about like not sharing the spotlight, not wanting to give any credit to me because then people will stop thinking that, oh, you're not the deep one. It's actually her story. It's her, like, all of that. She read it and I was just like, that's a very strong possibility, especially if somebody who's a narcissist like him.
Especially when
like,
somebody helped you with cuts and scripts and whatever.
But to be like, I don't think going into it, like, I'm not going to thank her because people going to do it. It's just more like a, I don't know, shoot, like, maybe something in his mind just made it okay, or...
he's insane.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's nuts. It wasn't cool at all. And the fact that it was that kind of movie, it was so, like, she was on the floor talking about, like, I won't get a chance to tell my story. Oh, I can't tell my story.
Because you stole it.
Because you did it. You know, somebody else is telling my story. And...
for those who don't know, also, crazy. Marie's an actress. And he didn't cast her to play herself. He let her audition. Well, we gonna get to her. I got a few more things on Malcom.
All right, go ahead, because I don't want us to go too much.
He kept saying, you're doing this to me on my biggest night, was mad irritating. One, because she said, let's not do this tonight. Mm-hmm. And two, it's not your night. This is our night. It's my story. I helped you write it. I helped you edit it. I helped you make it. And I helped you move into this house so we could get it recorded. I made you food. I ironed your suit and made you macaroni tonight. And he kept saying, this is my night. And I was like, are you effing kidding? That mindset is the problem. The whole problem.
After everything, at the end of the movie, knowing all of this, like hearing everybody's side, hearing Marie, hearing him, it's just like, for you to be so me focused shows how trashy of a person you are. Like, literally, the movie was about,
I'm in every
heavily
step
influenced
of this movie
about this, you know, your partner, and you didn't mention her at all. It's bad enough she gotta see, like, be there, see it herself, but also other people who may know of her, especially even Taylor, like, throwing stuff back in her face. It just wasn't cool. It just made him look even more bad. So I agree with you on that one.
Okay, cool. We can go to Marie. I didn't even do my little Malcolm summary.
Do your Malcolm summary.
It was basic. Came from a stable 2-parent home, college educated, and was afforded plenty of opportunities in a black man's world. The many that he could, well, the little opportunities he could get. And Marie was a drug addicted teenager. She got sober at 20, and she's an actress who hasn't worked in a while because she's been supporting this Negro to make her story. Oh, God.
Go ahead, Marie.
I'm going to let you start.
So.
Because I went off on Malcolm and you had his back, so let me do that.
Hold on now. Not necessarily have his back.
Mm-hmm. You get him more than me.
I do understand what.
Because I'm off him.
Marie irritated me right off the bat because she reminded me of you.
Negro. That's not a strong start.
Here we go. I'm Malcolm.
You? Well, she triggered you?
Because when he asked her what's wrong, and she was like, nothing. And then she said, let's not talk about it. First she said nothing, which is irritating. Like, if it's something wrong, it's something. Or first say, let's not talk about it right now. But initially she said nothing. And I was like, that has been our fight several times. And I'm like, just communicate or say, I need a minute.
How do I do now? I'm still bad?
Much better.
Okay.
Much better, for sure. But also, the one reason why I understand Malcolm is because I know what it's like to be on cloud nine, to be extremely happy, to be just, I don't know, in a good mood, and your partner be in a bad mood. Mm-hmm. And you want your partner to match your mood. Mm-hmm. Now, I also feel him on, I guess, feeling like he has ownership in how you feel.
Say more.
I can't make you feel like I feel, you know.
So how do you have ownership?
Like, feel responsible, might not be ownership, but just feel responsible for your moods, making you happy, or...
So if I'm upset, you feel like you're responsible to fix it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of men kind of take ownership of that.
Okay.
I have to make you happy. Like, she's sad, let me make her happy, or whatever. And I felt that way several times, and I'm like, now I'm like, no. Like, if you're sad, I'll sit with you. Or if it's like I'm happy and I see you in a funk and I've given you the opportunity to express it and you want to stay in it, you're going to have to stay in it. And I'm going to fight for my joy or whatever.
You also still don't understand depression, but
for sure,
going.
Absolutely. It's a huge buzzkill. Mm-hmm. Huge. So it's like,
can you just buzz along?
Now, he planned on spending this evening with her. Clearly, he kept saying that all he been wanting to do is just be with her, celebrate, have sex. She was clearly in a different headspace. For him not to pick it up from the visuals was crazy on his part, but that was my I won't say grace, but that's where I can understand him, at least on that part. Then after that, when she was just like, hey, let's not do this right now because X, Y, and Z, I was like, all right, she warned you. I also don't like the fact that she didn't say what she said at the end, which I think would have saved the whole conversation. But
what did she say?
Maybe she just needed time to process, like throughout the evening. She didn't say, I wanted to be cast as her, or you gave her my movie and I wasn't able to express my story. Like, that's what I feel like the final thing was. It was finally that. Like,
that was not the end. The end was still the very same. You gave me no acknowledgement for my contributions to your life and to this movie. That was the whole point.
So maybe she did say, well, it just
She
was,
said
I guess
that
more
through
was
the
exposed.
entire movie.
More was exposed. What she did say was, you didn't thank me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'll take that back then. Because one thing she for sure said, you didn't thank me. But then later, we just kind of got more of the why behind it, or the emotional connection behind the thing. And it was like, so much of this is because of her.
I think the fact that she couldn't play herself was a deeper betrayal. But this evening's shenanigans was because of the lack of acknowledgement.
It was trash. She won me over to her side quickly. And then I stayed on her side most of the night because of how harsh she was coming off.
The only thing that I agreed with him on in that whole movie was that she blew her own audition to play herself.
Great.
Also, why do I have to audition to play myself? Another story. If I'm an actress and I literally know every part of this, why do I need to audition?
Is it about you acting, or is it about the story being the movie being the best it could be?
Both of those would still have been me, so I don't know.
I don't necessarily agree with that statement.
She was the best actress, which she proved when she pulled out that knife, and everybody thought she was about to off somebody.
For sure. But he didn't. He said you didn't do that in the audition.
Agreed.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's why she wasn't.
Wasn't what?
Are you saying that it shouldn't have been a reason to cast me?
I'm saying there shouldn't have been a reason not to cast me.
So not to cast me. Yeah.
It's my story and I act. So what are we talking about? And we started off with that being the idea.
Yeah. I mean,
know where Taylor came from.
Yeah, now we don't know where she came from, but
Marie literally said this started off as you and me are about to do this whole thing, and then all these branches happened.
Yeah, she said something about you wanting it to be the best movie. So so I think that she even said something about that, like you want it to be the best movie. So, that's where, if you thought somebody better could do it, then I guess that's where Taylor came from. But I don't even know how that conversation happened if initially it was their thing like that. That's hurtful. I just think that I understand wanting to make the best movie possible, and if Taylor showed up and did a better performance than you, and you were supposed to be doing it, then that should have been a conversation. And if she, again, had the conversation and she just took the back seat and bowed out instead of standing up for herself, again, that's more so on her. He can't read in her feelings or be her feelings, That was tough, though.
What else you got? Have you even looked at your notes?
We didn't really have to. I mean, most of the stuff that you had, it's just been great. My stuff has just been broken down, kind of as the movie progressed.
You probably already touching on them anyway.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She did a few passive-aggressive things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when
I know
she... this is after his big rant about his review, which was a good review.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho. She ended up calling him an industry hoe, and they was joking about it, but I don't think she was joking.
No.
So I thought that was kind of not okay. And then after he went off on her in the bathtub, she got out, got herself together, came outside, and turned on another, I don't know what her intentions were. It felt passive-aggressive. It was a song called Get Rid of Them.
She said to him previously, because what he likes to do is put on music.
Yeah, she said you apologized in an emotionally obtuse way.
Mm-hmm. So I think that was her attempt to break bread, or is it break bread? Or just like, I don't know, just kind of like find common ground or whatever, apologize in his language. Because if you listen to it, it was just like, it says, but I love him or something like that. Like,
they're right here.
This girl don't put the lyrics up and everything. We're your friends. We got some good advice. Before you let him break your heart, you better think twice. He's the only one who will tease your crying. Okay. He's only out to break your heart. With him, he's cheating and okay. But I love him. There's nothing I can do.
He's gonna rip your dreams apart. That's the part I was like, dang, he already did. And then she like, but I love him, and there's nothing I can do. And the friends are like, get rid of him. I was like, this song is messy.
I heard the song and I was like, what is she saying to him?
Right.
And then when I heard the but I love him, it
was basically you trash, but I ride with you.
And I don't know if he heard the lyrics and was just like, this ain't working. Which is, I'm like, you do the same thing.
But
or she chose a terrible song.
I think the song was terrible, but maybe they got some kind of inside scoop that I don't understand. But even if she was doing the olive branch like you think, he just left and went to read his review.
Which was trash.
Freaking narcissist.
I think he got his phone and he realized his review because they said it was 20 minutes early or late.
You saying he had his phone and then got up, or he just got up, left her there, and went to check his phone? Regardless.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah. I'm just saying it wasn't for that. I just know he got up and we was just like, okay, what happened there? So I think I was like, okay, she had just made a comment about the whole passive aggressive sorries or whatever through music, and she did the same thing for him. I thought that was a sweet little gesture. It just didn't work. And I also, again, think the song choice was trash.
I just don't like him because I was like, he want to do this little stupid song stuff with me. Let me get him one. That was where I was at.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Freedom to change your mind is another note I wrote. Because at the movie premiere, he kept squeezing her hand, saying, how are you? She said, I'm fine, I'm fine. But then after the premiere, when they went to the after party, people kept talking to her. And that's when her I'm fine switched to, okay, I'm pissed off. How do you feel about that? Is it okay to just change your mind? Like, no, I'm not fine. I know last time we really talked, I was fine. No, I'm not.
We had an episode where we had just talked through some mess. Mm-hmm. Before the episode, I was fine. After the episode, I was not fine. Makes total sense.
Okay, cool. I was just curious.
No, the more people bring it up to you than certain people and how they do it, it just could affect you differently. And even though it's just like the kids, it's like they're kids. We know they're going to do something. They're about to just, every night they make a big thing about bedtime. So we can know this going in. We can say I'm fine. But when they start doing it, it's something about that I'm fine.
I don't never think I'm fine. I'll be avoiding even saying, all right, guys. Ooh.
Well, I feel her. I understand.
The last note I had is that she is not safe to be vulnerable in this relationship. Reasons being,
okay.
When she is vulnerable, he brings it right back to himself. 2, she prefaced so many statements with, can you please just not make me feel like SHIT tonight? He was like, so are we done fighting? She was like, that depends on if you can go the rest of the night without saying something hurtful. I'm just like, geez, dude, shut up. Reason 3. She only breaks when he walks away from her. Like he'll be digging and digging and digging, and she'll just stay stoic. And then as soon as he walks away, she'll break down.
He attacked the hell out of her. When she was in that tub. Yeah. She was naked.
I put that too. She was even more vulnerable because she's freaking naked in the tub, while you tell her about your conquests.
About another woman in a heart-shaped tub.
Right.
That you got a picture of
in our
back
closet.
at the house.
Trash human.
But what'd he say? When she was trying to, keep a straight face, I'm like, okay.
He said, stop smiling. You look like a clown. He's terrible.
Golly, bruh, that's what you...
And left her in the tub. Ugh, God, I want to punch him in the face. Bad.
Let's move it.
Ugh. But when I watched the interview, he was like, if you like both of us, good. If you pick a side, even better. I don't pick your side. A blanket statement I made was that he saved her life and she saved his career.
But I think she saved his life.
What?
He saved her life, like, from drugs. I think she, like, saves his life, like, everything. It's not just about his career. He is a jerk.
He is a jerk. As sweet as she tries to be, he's still an a-hole.
But I feel like she just brings much more to the relationship and to him and all that stuff. So I just feel like...
I think her trying to break ground with him is just going to break her.
When she said... Oh, excuse me. When she said to him... I forget what did he say. That was the best and worst you're ever going to be in this relationship. When he said, I'll break you like a twig.
Snap you like a twig.
So I'm like, does she know that he's all talk?
She said that because she was like, you think you are so amazing that you don't see the need to grow at all. So the way you just spoke to me, I can expect that for the rest of this relationship.
Mm.
Terrible. Yeah. Leave. Now.
But she straight told this man, like, this is the best and worst that you're ever going to be.
Because you're a narcissist.
And narcissists, they need...
Run for cover.
Patient people who want to
be gracious. They need professionals.
But also strong people, which I think, despite everything that she's been through, she's
strong because of what she's been through.
That too. I thought every time she disappeared that she was on drugs, and then I started to think like she offed herself. Like it was like, why are you just disappearing like this? It was just really weird.
She went to pee.
Outside though. That's weird.
She didn't have a backyard. The novelty hasn't worn off.
Sure. That's what she said. For us normal people, that was weird. And
sometimes when you want to get away from somebody, it don't matter.
And that
you will go piss in the bush.
That right there is actually probably why she would do something to the extreme like that. Like I gotta go to the bathroom. I could just close this door and get away from him. No, you know what? I'm gonna go outside. That ain't far enough. Because he's gonna find her because of how needy he is.
Yes.
Maria.
And he
Maria.
yelled. It's just Marie.
Yeah, Marie.
And when he was looking for her, he yelled her name like 40 times.
Like a kid.
Be quiet.
Like a kid. It was crazy. Did you like the movie?
The what?
Did you like it?
Yeah.
You just didn't like him?
Not at all.
Why do you like it? Why do you like it?
It was very authentic, the word he hates.
That's true.
I think it was super cringy how they would go from super, super duper fighting and then end up making out and then start fighting again and then making out and then try to have sex and then fight again.
Don't talk to me about nothing serious when we trying to have sex. Like, either we gonna have a conversation.
They wasn't. He went to pee and then she realized, man, he didn't cast me.
No,
that hurt my feelings.
I'm talking about when they was in the room and she was kissing him like she was about to give him some head, and then she just kept talking. He like, just can you please? And then she sat up and it was like, come on. I don't know if he said something that just made her stop or whatever, but it was just like, she wasn't letting it go. And I'm like, I would have been frustrated too at that part. Just saying.
Whatever. And then after all that madness, he said, "Marry me. We'll probably get married and divorced a couple times. We might as well go for it." I was like, he is outside of his mind.
I think that was a joke.
I don't.
I think that was, to me, I understood that as, dog, we drive each other crazy, but we work type of thing. Even if it was like, you know what, we're going to get divorced and so many times or whatever, he's speaking about their kind of their back and forthness, but even that's their thing. Toxic or whatever, like that's their thing. And it's not just a one-sided thing. Like he feels that and she feels that. She was like, no, I don't feel like it today. Like it wasn't like a no, stop, never. It was just that banter between them. It works.
Sick.
It was literally me looking into a relationship like, oof, I wouldn't have done that. But let me see myself in it and, you know, what I would have done and how I, you know, maneuver in my own. Make sure I'm not talking to you like this, you know, like even to win an argument, like one thing I do give them though, you don't know how many times I left an argument. It was just like, man, I should have said this.
Yeah, I like that it was ebbed and flowed. I just don't like the way it ebbed and flowed.
They would no when they said, man, I should have said this. They come and say it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is letting you turn it to me, and I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna gather my thoughts.
Have I ever?
And then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna let you have it.
Have I ever torn into you?
No, not really.
One more random thing that if I were in their relationship would trigger me was that they both kept saying, "Give me a break." Like if you said a point that you really felt strongly about, Marie was like, "Give me a effing break." Like, boy, please. And vice versa. I was like,
What's wrong with that?
I would be triggered if I was in their relationship and they both kept saying that back and forth. It's like, F what you talking about, back to what I'm talking about. They kept saying,
like,
give me a break.
That's what you do? Like, they kept doing it. But the word choices was just like, oh, you say this to the person you love? Like, this is...
That's what I'm saying. And he talking about, let me... open yourself up, boy.
When she came in there with that knife, I was like, well, you set yourself up for this, sir.
You thought she would have hurt him for some pills?
Yeah. Then I was like, the way this mug is going, I'm like, I don't know, because they so toxic. This right here could be the last straw. But then when she said, where are the pills? I was like, it was just all pills in that thing. She is acting. And she about to school him like, that's why I should have been apart. And the way I was like, she killed that. But then this nigga talking about some, you should have did that at the rehearsal. Like, I mean, an audition. And sounds like, I love you. Like, that's when that was, that mug was an emotional.
It was cringy.
And it wasn't until he finally said the words.
Pause. She gave a 3-minute monologue on what he has never thanked her for and said, all I wanted you to do is say thank you. And his response was, I love you, silence. Literally out loud, outside of my own mouth. I think he said, I said, where the hell is the thank you?
I love you, Marie. I was like,
and then went to lay down.
Nah, that's when she got up and went to the bathroom.
My God.
I
was like,
I said, he still did not say, yeah. We almost said that same time.
He's insane. And kept calling her crazy. It blew my mind.
Yes.
He is nuts.
He is.
I would love to see them sober. Because he was insane.
The way he said...
He was yelling at trees, yelling at people that were not there, fencing the air. He is crazy.
Yeah.
Or just super drunk. I don't know.
He was a lot of things he was claiming her to be.
Yes.
For sure. But when he finally said...
Sorry.
Thank you.
Or thank you.
I feel like I let out a... I was like... And I didn't realize how much tension was in... Like throughout the movie and to that moment. Like I was wearing it. But I was just like he owed it to me.
I took several deep breaths.
I was like, oh, that's all I wanted from you. Like, it's like it was
literally, if he would have said thank you 5 minutes in, they would have had a nice night. He could have ate his mac and cheese, smashed, and went to sleep.
Real talk. Could have had some. Got a good review. All that.
Ugh.
Yeah, that mug was crazy.
I don't like him as a human.
Was the worst thing about Malcolm that made it hard to digest?
I can't pick one. The narcissism.
And you know what? I said this earlier. I might have said this earlier. She was driving me crazy because she wouldn't say what was bothering her.
Are you kidding?
So I just feel like more and more came out actually fine. Because when he said, like, that's what it's finally about. Like, so that's, but I take it back because, again, she was like, I don't want to talk about it right now. So she could very much be somebody like you who needs to process a little more. And the more she got a chance to process, you know, she had more to say.
I don't even think she needed to process. I think all of her thoughts were clear in her mind. I think she knew the conversation wouldn't go well that evening.
Again, I'm just saying, whatever I thought walking in or at the end of the first time I saw it, I was just like, let me pull back on that because she literally was saying, not right now. Let's not get into this right now. I just don't like some of the stuff that she, you know, passive aggressive and the way she chose to handle certain things. But also him, he came back with the same energy, even worse, you know. So
while eating food she made him.
Right.
Crazy.
But overall, great movie. It takes place in what? 3 rooms, really, and it was just great visuals. They did an amazing job really capturing these people, their emotions, their
kitchen,
bedroom, lack of balance.
bathroom.
Oh, and the living room. Okay, I forgot about the bathroom.
And outside. How you forget the tub?
No. And Zendaya did a freaking amazing job.
She crushed it.
She killed it. She really did. She acted while acting. Whatever. You get what I'm saying? She killed it.
Yeah.
And
even without saying words,
mm-hmm.
She crushed it.
I think they both did a good job displaying the emotions and just like really helping the audience feel what they were feeling. Like
you definitely feel like you're in the living room at a very awkward event.
I feel like I was on the receiving end on a lot of those words because I felt like that could have been us a lot of times if we allowed certain things to happen. If I would have said this or whatever, like I felt like that could have been us.
Baby, if you talk to me like that, there would not be an us. Let's just be clear. That would have ended a long time ago.
I also think it's refreshing to see I don't know. They just killed it. Seeing a couple work it out. It works for them.
You feel good about it. cringy.
No, I still be like, they need counseling after this, but
they need to break
they
up.
work it out.
To me.
What you got? What else?
Where did you see yourself?
Definitely saw myself in Malcolm a lot. I definitely saw myself in...
Not you, Malcolm.
I'm about to say. I saw myself in Marie.
What parts of both?
Feeling small. I feel like she felt super, super small in a tub. Vulnerable, exposed, like... that was just like... I think therapy, a lot of times, I feel myself in kind of in that position she was in. Just like... I don't know if that's the fetal position or whatever, but she was just like holding her legs. Yeah. But she broke, you know. That's on the receiving end of that. And then at the end, talking about all that she do. And like, I'm just here for this. I'm just boom, boom, boom. And I don't know if I was just really feeling her during that time.
And after her naming all that stuff that she does thanklessly, and then he was like, you gave up your career to be an emotional support dog? Oh, my God. I'm not going to get back on the Malcolm rant, but go ahead.
No, I mean, it's like she does a lot.
Yikes.
And I feel like some of the recognition that she feel like she don't be getting for it, just like, yo, I feel that, you know. Sometimes I feel like my load just be a lot, and I'd be like, man, I don't think she realized how good she got it, or whatever. It don't be like, again, it's not like their situation at all, but it was just like, I wonder if she know how good she got it, or if, like, a lot of times I ask, like, yo, before I say how I think I'm feeling, you let me know how you feel I'm feeling. And if I'll let you give, like, you being like the referee, letting me know, hey, how this mug is going, we're good. You basically are the one that'll be like, oh, you're killing it. Or you have dropped the ball here or there. Most of the time you're like, oh, you've been doing this and doing that. Then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm not tripping because I feel like I've been doing this and that. And, you know, I just feel like sometimes I be looking for that also.
For what?
Like the recognition sometimes. I think you also do it in a way of your love language and not my love language. So me having to step into that mindset, like
gifts.
Yeah, or just whatever. Like it might be physical, whatever I'm feeling. So
sex.
I don't know. Something like you've been doing great with like, you need a hug. I'd be like, yeah, you know. And you'll be, I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes, what's the verbal recognition one? What's that?
Words of affirmation?
Words of affirmation. I don't, too much, it don't really do much for me.
Me either.
So for you to be like, sugar, you killing it. Babe, you doing this and that, you know this and that. That's great. Show me, you know.
How?
A lot of times it's like, make me feel appreciated.
How?
Man, I don't know. So I mean, sometimes it's like, it may be a gift. Like,
teach me how.
I literally been thinking like, you've been doing this and that. You bought me some drawers.
With the little ball pocket and soft fabric.
The little ball pocket. Okay. Anyway.
They're called sacks for your sack.
Eb got me some drawers. And she's super excited about my drawers. But she like, yo, like they're comfortable and they're made. Like your balls go in this, look, whatever. She just like super excited about it.
I don't think dudes pamper themselves well. Y'all don't wear like stuff that feels good on your skin. I'll be like, you're missing out.
So I'm like, yo, that's dope. So now I actually feel love. But this is like, yo, you're taking care of me in a way of like, hey, I noticed that you might not buy fancy underwear. You might not do this. You might not care about this. But I want you to have this. That make me feel loved.
Cool.
But that makes me feel like taken care of. Love. That don't make me feel appreciated. that might be, hey, and it might just be like, hey, because of everything that you've been doing, I recognize that I wanted to get you something. And it ain't draws. It may be just something else. Just that's what it may look like. I always appreciate a good gift. If you let me know it's because of X, Y, and Z though, that's dope. That makes that helps.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a lot, but still, I mean, these are things that I'm trying to, maybe it's this. Sex always makes me feel comfortable, like, or close to you and all that. That is the ultimate gift. You are. Like, I'm going to give my body to you. I just want to have this great time with you. And just like I'm going to give myself, you are the greatest gift that you can give. So I would say sex is always great. But if you intentionally like, hey, babe, I noticed that, you know, I got you this because it sounded good. And I just wanted to give you something because you've been killing it.
Okay. I'll get you donuts.
Donuts. Love donuts.
Where did you see me besides in Marie not saying what is going on in her brain?
No, I saw you and Marie a lot. Just on some the wisdom and how to handle the evening. It's like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Right now is not the good time or whatever. I literally saw us in the beginning. Music, all that stuff. Like you rushing in to go to the bathroom. All of that. Except for you making mac and cheese, but
yeah, no. I make you bowl of cereal.
Sure. But it's like all of that up until they got to talking to each other crazy. Mm-hmm. I saw it in Marie. I also saw myself in Malcolm when he was like, oh, I could break you like a twig.
Jesus Christ.
Because I know that if I wanted to, I could be as nasty as that. And I don't want to be that.
I can be worse than both of them. Verbally.
Yeah. And the pride in me would just be like.
I had a lot of practice growing up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see us get to that point.
If we did not know Jesus Christ, this would be a mess.
This wouldn't be.
Facts.
This wouldn't be. Baby, I would be in Nikki in St. Louis.
The dancer.
Oh, man. That was crazy.
That. I'm talking about you, not Nikki. Nick and Nikki. Ugh. Anywhere else? You jerk?
Nah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, where I saw myself. When she was just making that macaroni, completely disengaged. I do that all the time. Yes. Like, just do what needs to be done and be done with the day.
You also are her, like, she was smoking outside. He was just going there talking about it. She was like, yep, you right. Okay, babe. Mm-hmm, yep. That's you all the time with me. Just be letting me talk. Get it out. Oh, man. I saw that. I was like, that's how I be.
Yep. So. Less psychotic. But yes.
Is that annoying? Is it a lot?
It's a lot. I used to get annoyed because I didn't know what you were doing.
I'm thinking.
Out loud.
Out loud.
And I was like...
And I'm using you to process.
Yes, but it was like you would say something and then completely contradict what you just said. And I was like, so what is it? But that was you processing your thoughts. I didn't know that at
totally
first.
Normal.
I was like, he don't know what he talking about. Mm-mm. Do you even know what he just said? Mm-mm. So I used to be very annoyed and confused.
You want me to do that with somebody else?
I get it now. That's why I let you talk. And then at the end, sometimes I ask you, so
what?
Summarize. Now that you're there, bring me where you are.
I mean, but still, does it annoy you now? Even though you know it, it's just like, is it still like, oh, here he goes?
I don't get annoyed. Okay. I just look at you like, I don't know where this is going.
Okay, I respect that.
but we'll get there. Cleaning and organizing when you're emotionally overwhelmed. She went in the room, started picking up laundry, throwing shoes in the closet. I do that a lot. Holding on to something for so long that when you finally say it, your message is extremely clear because you had a bunch of repressed thoughts. That's why I was like, I don't think she was holding stuff back. I feel like she was thinking about all that stuff all night at that party while they weren't talking to each other. And then she got home and was very clear on why she was mad, but didn't want to talk about it yet.
But not even like for her sake. It was still for him.
That's my next point. Burying your feelings for your spouse's immediate experience. Sometimes I know I'm a buzzkill, and so I don't kill yours more. I just go shut up somewhere. And I'd be like, stop worrying about me. Go have your fun. I'm fine right here by myself. Tell me when you're ready to go.
Now I know that it's like freeing.
But I think you used to, there's something some other friends of ours was like they don't like. Like if other people know your spouse is mad at you and how that looks, I don't care how it looks. I don't know if you do.
If
I'd be like, mind your business.
Other people know that you're
mad. If people like, look, if we somewhere and they like, look, Ebony mad. Or they coming to you, what's wrong with Ebony? I feel like that annoys you. I don't care what people talking about. They don't know what's going on. Mind your business. Enjoy the party.
I think if it's a party, cool. If it's another couple and we're going out with them,
I still don't care.
That's a little tough.
Yeah.
But again, we've done it before, and I was just like, hey, man, you gonna kick it. We're gonna have a good time. Whatever they doing, it is what it is. So, hey.
I do not take offense.
My biggest thing is I don't know how to always put my guards down or my walls down. I don't do a good job of compartmentalizing like stuff like that. If I block you off, take a lot of energy to bring that wall down. So if you feel a certain way and I get into it, you know what? I'm just going to, I don't know how long that's going to last. It could last and just do more damage to where I'm just like, because this wall is up and because I'm in my pride, I might mess around and give this attention on purpose to somebody else just so I can keep this wall up, just so I can keep this going because you got me to the point to where I wanted to block you off or I needed to block you off. It's just...
Dawn talked to me about walls versus barriers. Or what did you say? Wall versus a door or a fence or something.
Something about something coming through.
Yes. Walls, there's no way through on either direction. But if there's a gate or a door, I can open it. Or let's leave it open in the first place. I don't even have to close it. But I'm over here and you over there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a door builder.
I know.
I build walls, baby. And the mugs be brick.
All right.
Straws. You can't blow this down. You can blow this down, but it'd be hard.
Yes, it will.
I was saying, because it was, never mind. Because it's a brick.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other thing that I saw in myself and Marie was the being able to converse in community, but breaking when I get by myself.
Why? You save your face?
No, it's just exhausting. I would rather just go do it by myself. When I break, I'm usually in the shower because that's where I go decompress anyway, or I'm crying myself to sleep because I'm finna go to sleep.
Cry yourself to sleep? That sounds exhausting. I'm gonna have to try that.
It is. Last time I did it was after that super cringy episode we did.
Not really.
Yep. I went and took a shower, cried in there, laid down, and cried till I fell asleep listening to Jasmine Sullivan.
This feels so stupid to me. I'm right there
I
next
was
to
like,
you.
this is too much. We had just talked for an hour. I was done talking. I couldn't do it anymore. It would have went south.
In what way?
I don't even remember. I just remember thinking, I cannot talk anymore. Go to bed.
Okay.
Where I saw my spouse. Now, I ain't seen this in a while, but I wrote it anyway. Prioritizing the care and feelings of others over mine. In the movie, it was manly work. But when we first got married, it was family, and that was super annoying. And then sometimes it was in public because you didn't like how the optics of whatever was going on. So you wanted me to get myself together. And I was like, if everybody that can see me, I don't care right now.
So, let me know. What are you talking about? Because I need to know, what are you talking about? I remember one time with Darren, and are you talking about like when you be ready to go?
Whatever, when I'm like this, like disengaged, done with the night, and you're not. You used to be irritated with me.
Mm.
And I'm like, boy, finish your fun and let me know when we leave it.
Because it's not like, hey, finish your fun, I'm just ready to go, okay? It's like, whenever you're ready, we can go. It's that, and then you wouldn't even say, hey, whenever you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Most
you
of
would
the
just
time
do
it
this.
Was functions I didn't even want to go to.
I'm like, no,
so
you can
obviously
tell me.
I'm ready. I didn't want to come.
It's not obvious though.
If I didn't want to go, you don't think I'm ready to leave whenever?
This is also the person that's just like, where you going? Can I come with you? Or I don't want to go with you. Like you fall asleep right there just because
I don't understand how this relates.
Because you want me to go somewhere where you aren't or be somewhere where you're not. I could have easily left you at home, but a lot of times you always want to go. So when you don't be wanting to go, do I always know that? I don't think that's the case.
Well,
I think that was something that I learned.
Go, so
yeah, I think that's something that we definitely learned. But boy, that used to be like a, because you didn't always tell me I'm ready to go. It was just like a head down on the table. It was just like, well, you know you can tell me.
Because I was fine.
You didn't look fine. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't like the optics. I could have stayed at that table until you was ready to go. But you didn't like how it looked that my head was on the table.
No. I didn't. I guess what I'm receiving is optics because of everybody else. I don't care what everybody else think about your head down on the table. I'm just like you. Your head is down on the table. If you were ready to go, you hadn't told me.
I wasn't. That's what you're missing.
Okay. Okay, Marie.
I was chilling, Malcolm. And then now you catch yourself when you do this. But if I say something, you used to just flip it and like find something equally bad or worse to say about me.
Oh, when you're giving me critiques?
Yeah. Real Malcolm-y.
Hey, man. Don't be coming for me.
I wasn't.
I'm not always used to people like pointing out things where I can point out the same thing in you, but it's just like, okay, we're not talking about you right now. It didn't even have to be the same thing.
You would just find something, and I'll just be like, what?
Most of the time, I'm just like, hold on, but I'm like, I don't get it how this could be a problem when you do this. Like, and to me, it's like something similar. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying it's completely different, then yeah, I can't speak on that. I was just prideful. Mm-hmm. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm. You're 7.
You're 6.
I feel like we already answered these questions.
Okay. We'll close out.
What? I learned 2 new words.
What's your words? And get in the screen.
I'm in that one. I feel like I've heard hyperbolic before. Or hyperbole, maybe. I've never heard hyperbolic. And the other one was solipsistic.
That was in the movie?
Yeah, that's another word he threw at her in that bathtub. I was like...
Solipsistic.
It's something to do with like you're so into yourself that you think everything is about you. Like you can't even see or understand things that aren't related to yourself, which sounds Malcolm-y. Why he throwing it around. But anyway.
New word, Malcolm.
Yay for new words. And Malcolm-y is absolutely a new thing.
Well, we know this video ran long. Well, this episode ran long. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. If you haven't seen the movie,
I would watch it again.
Well, if you stayed throughout this, I'm pretty sure you've seen the movie. But check it out again, man. Try to catch some stuff that you hadn't seen before. I would say take a good look at yourself and your partner and see like, hey, where you in, where do you see yourself and where do you see your partner? I think that'd be great conversations. Like,
but warning, a lot of people were very triggered if they were in similar toxic situations.
That's true.
So
that's true.
If you think maybe you shouldn't, don't.
Yeah, I don't think that I was triggered in the sense that like I was like, yeah, like, but it was like I definitely saw myself and I was like, man, if it wasn't for the Lord, I easily could have been Malcolm. Like,
me too. Besides the ranty stuff, I don't talk that much.
You think you would have been Malcolm?
With the jabs and the throwing the stuff back. Yeah. I did that once before in a fight, and it was not a cool situation. It wasn't with you.
No, I'm thinking about the little girl on the playground.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, boy.
I'm saying someone told me something. We got into it, and I was like, "Girl, you blah 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 blah." So shut up. That was in college. Cops were called. It's done.
Well, learned something new tonight, guys. Didn't know that. You jerk.
She was a jerk first.
It don't matter. And Malcom Marie.
Yeah. I regret it.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for rocking with us. Again, super appreciative. I really enjoyed watching this movie and chopping it up. So if you guys are interested in more content like that, I think we are going to start checking out some movies and just kind of seeing the relationship dynamics and talking about it, because we can find ourselves or see ourselves in a lot of, people out there in movies and all that stuff. And I just think it's great, conversation. So,
Yes.
Dope.
Especially if we get to dress up.
Well, I'm here for it.
It's gone. I ate that.
Mac and cheese. But please, if you enjoyed yourself, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
And the notification bell.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know when, new videos pop up. Please continue the conversation in the comments below. We love hearing from you guys. It's been amazing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify. We're all podcasts. Yep. You can see us on YouTube. Rock with us.
Follow us on Instagram.
Absolutely. EboNics Podcast. Everywhere. Ebony Shumpert, Nico Shumpert.
What's going on with this tie?
That's what he did. That's how he was eating the macaroni, like that.
Oh.
Till next time, though.